Hi everyone, sorry for the change of scenery. I'm currently at work and I decided to film my TBR for you. So the first thing to talk about is readathons. I am participating in several readathons this month and I know I'm extra and over the top, but I just want to support everyone. So I think I'm participating in 5 readathons this month over the course of the month. It's gonna be a little interesting to say the least. So I've decided to do it this way. I'm gonna do a TBR for the first half of the month and we'll see how much I get done, and then the rest of it will be the extras for the TBR, for the other readathons I'm gonna be doing. Now, the first thing I'm gonna be doing is talking about the 3 readathons that I'm reading that are month-long readathons, and I'll mention the other ones that I'll be filming a new TBR for later on. I'll mention that at the end of the video. So the first readathon I am doing, I have it in my notebook here, all the readathons. It's crazy busy. So the first one I will be doing is Jane Austen July, and this is hosted by Katie from Books and Things and Marissa from Blatantly Bookish. So it's just Jane Austen prompts, and I'll link everyone down below. The other 2 readathons that are month-long readathons, one of them is Medievalathon, so I'll be participating in that, and Holly Hart's Books did it, and she did a really great job. It looks really fun and like low-key, but also challenging in some ways, so I'm really excited. And then the other one is Book Junkie Trials, which is a quest and you're all on different teams, and I'm proudly on Team Scribe. So I am excited for that readathon as well. Now, Book Junkie Trials is hosted by Rachel from Rachel Marie Reads, I believe. And if not, I'll link and correct myself on screen and link everyone down below for all of the readathons. So let's just jump straight into the books that I'll be reading. I'm gonna go in order of the Book Junkie Trials. As part of this readathon, you have to read them in order of your path. Each team has a map and you have to follow your specific path and read books in order. So I'm going to talk about my books in order. So the first stop for the scribes is Dwarf Mountain, and you need to read a book with a hint of romance. So I decided why not go with a classic, one that I really want to read, and that's The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. I don't speak French, so I'm hoping I'm not saying his name wrong. And I'm really interested to read this. I really am excited. And it's on the shorter side, so I'm really glad I don't have to rush around things. Now, one of the things about this readathon is every team has a weakness and a strength. And our strength is we can change our TBR if we don't like, or if we're not feeling a certain book, we can change it up a bit. However, our weakness is we have to read a book over 500 pages. So, the next prompt is gonna include my weakness as well, and that is to pick a random book from your shelf. And I randomized my Goodreads list, and this one came up. It's Given Day by Dennis Lehane, and it doesn't look that big, but it's like 700 pages. So I really want to read this one. I don't remember much of what it's about though, to be honest. So I'm excited I can change it out if I don't like it, but it is a random pick off my Goodreads shelf, which I happen to own. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back a bit and tell you what the books are for the other prompts as well. So for Medievalathon, this one here is going to be The Cloak, because it has red on the dust jacket. I might change things up, but that's what it is for now. And Given Day is a thick book, because it might not look thick, but it's 700 pages, so why not? Okay, so the next prompt is to read a TBR vet for the Book Junkie Trials, I'm sorry. And so I'm gonna go with A Passenger to Frankfurt by Agatha Christie. Now this is really old, I don't remember where I got it exactly, but I'm excited to read it. There's obviously no dust jacket on it. And this also fulfills the prompt for a yellowed spine or yellow pages for the Medievalathon trials. So that's what I'm going to be reading for those 2 prompts. Now the last one is to read a book that has world building, and I'm not much of a fantasy reader, but I figure I might as well try this one. It's interesting to me, and I think different enough where it could be considered world building. So A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. It's also on the shorter side, so I'm helping myself out a bit aside from my big chunky one. And then also for the trial, for Readathons, this is going to be something pointy on the cover as he has spikes on his head. So that's that one. I'm hoping to read this because I have to read this fourth. I'm going to hopefully have this jump over into my second readathon and one of my other readathons, but if not, I'm excited to read this. And then the last book for the Book Junkie Trials for Your Path is to read Stardust by Neil Gaiman. That's coming in from the library right now, so I'll be reading that one too as on top of that list. So that's the 5 for my path. Now, for the Book Junkie Trials, I'm going to try to read more and I'm going to fit them in where I can, but I'm not going to set a TBR for that because I really don't know. So then now let's jump into Medievalathon for the other books. So for A Fight for the Throne, I am actually reading with my cousin Hawaii Story by Hawaii's Queen, and I cannot pronounce her name. I'm sorry. So this one's about her trying to get back her throne, and I think it kind of counts. If we read, if we finish it in July, that will count, and if not, I want to read Summer of Blood by Dan Jones, I believe, as well. So I'm really interested in that one, and that one will fit for The Crown, which is The Fight for the Throne. The next one is a shiny cover, and honestly, I have a few options, and we'll see. I might even just go with this one because it's a library book, so it's shiny. And it's Warlight by Michael Adache. I'm sorry, I'm probably saying that completely wrong. But it's for my book club pick of the month for one of my book clubs, so I need to read this anyways. Then the next one is Thick, which is A Given Day. And then, sorry, my notes are down here. So then also Yellowed Over Time is Passenger to Frankfurt. Phantom of the Opera will cover the Red Dust Jacket. And that's it for the Medievalathon. So those are the books I want to read for that. Because they double up so well, I'm really glad I can squeeze them in. And I'm excited to do that. Now, Step Right Up-a-thon is posted by I Read Past My Bedtime and Linda's World of Books. And that starts on the 7th. So I'm probably going to have a lot of crossover between those. And I'm going to just do a weekly reads, I think, for July. I'm going to let you know how it went and what's coming up so it doesn't get too crazy and confusing. Because there's a lot of names, a lot of prompts, and I'm excited especially for Step Right Up-a-thon. And this one is really fun. It's in a carnival. Each prompt has 2 sides that you can do either or. And so I am very interested in a lot of those options. And so a lot of these fit those. So I'll just run through the prompts quickly that I will be doing, and I'll link down their videos below. So the first prompt is 5 years or older or takes you for a ride. So I'm doing the Passenger to Frankfurt again, if I don't get to it before the readathon starts. And then the second one is, I rolled the dice for this one, and it was landed on 2, which just means it's already on your TBR. So if I don't get to Given Day by that point, Given Day will fit that one perfectly. Then the next one is 3. It's a classic, or red or gold on the cover, and I'm reading The Phantom of the Opera, which is a classic. And then the second last one is illustrations, and that's A Monster Calls, so it's even better. And then the last prompt is royals, or reading the group book, which I'm not going to be reading, but if I'm going to be reading a royal book, I'm not going to be finishing Hawaii in that time, but I do really want to read Summer of Blood, so that's probably what I'm going to pick for that. And I'll let you guys know next week what I will be reading for this readathon, if I have to change anything or how my progress is, basically. So now for Jane Austen July. There is a couple things. I'm not massively participating. I found out about it after the other ones, so I'm gonna just do what I can and see what I can squeeze in. But what I do have are audiobooks. Now, they're hosting, Katie and Marissa are hosting read-alongs of Sense Sensibility and Northanger Abbey, and I have both on audio. So I'll be doing that. Sense Sensibility goes from the 1st to the 15th of the month, I believe. So I will be listening on audio to Sense Sensibility for the first half of the month. And then for the second half of the month, I will be listening to Northanger Abbey, which is way shorter, and I'm hoping to squeeze this one in quite quickly. Some more of their prompts are to read like contemporaries of the time, or inspired by, or like even like some of Jane Austen's not novels, but her other works. So I own a copy of Lady Susan, the Watsons, and Sanditon, and I might pick this one up and reread Lady Susan. I really enjoy that story. I also have of the library Anne Radcliffe's The Mysteries of Udolpho, which is the novel that Catherine Morland is obsessed with in Northanger Abbey. So I might get to this. It is long, but we'll see if I can squeeze it in. So that's it for my readathon books. Now on to other books, which will fit in multiple places, I am very sure. So the first one is Betsy and the Great World, which is for the Betsy Tacy read-along, and I will be reading that one with my cousin Megan. We're going to kind of buddy read it, split in half, and read it over 2 weeks. So that will be the last half of the month. Then I'm also reading Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and this will be with one of my friends who I do a 2-person book club with over Skype, and it's really fun, so I'm excited to read this. It's really short, which is always positive, so I'm going to be reading that one as well. And then I'm going to be reading The Book Thief with Steph Loves. I'm going to link her below. And we both have had this book on our shelves for a while. We both want to read it, and we know it's going to like break our hearts and we're going to cry a lot, but I'm excited to read this one. We are going to be reading in 3 different chunks. They don't have chapters in this book, we've discovered, but they do have parts. So we're going to read 3 parts a week, and that will be exciting. So I'll talk about my last book that I need to read well, actually second last, because I'm also reading Hawaii with my cousin Megan. We like buddy reading, and so we're going to be reading Hawaii when we're not reading Betsy Tacy together. Now, for the book club book is Warlight, which I already talked about a little, and I'll tell you what it's about. It's about this, it's about World War II, and these children are abandoned, and they're abandoned with someone who's quite sketchy, basically. So it's interesting. I'm excited to read about it, and I don't really want to talk too much about the books because I don't know most of these books. I know a little, but I really like talking about them when I know more. So we'll see. Now for library books I have out. Sorry, it's quite a long video. I apologize right now. So I have Home on Huckleberry Hill by, what's her name? Jennifer Beckstrand. I heard about it from Sarah on Steeped in Books, and I thought it sounded interesting. I might pick it up, although I was looking at what I need to read and I'm kind of scared, so maybe not. I am interested though. Then I also have out A Beautiful Blue Death by Charles Finch. Now this one I heard about from cozy reader Kelly, and I really like Agatha Christie, so if this is like a modern Agatha Christie like writer, I'm very excited, and I do really want to read this, so I'm hoping I can get to it. Now I also have out The Reckoning of Gossamer Pond by Jamie Jo Wright. I don't know anything about this, I just know I love Jamie Jo Wright, and so I'm hoping it'll be really good if I can get to it this month. Now the last 2, I have The Sunday Philosophy Club by Alexander McCall Smith. Now this one I read the second one first, and then I was like, oh, I actually really want to read more. They're titled mysteries, but they're not really mysteries. It's very cozy and very like slow paced, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well written, the other one. I just thought it was mistitled or misgenred, if that makes sense. And the last one would be a reread if I have time, so it's not a priority, but I'd love to get to it. And that is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sagar. So I have it out from the library, and I kind of want to read it again because it was just really, really good. But this will probably be like the first thing I will not pick up. If I don't have time, it'll be the first thing off the list because I just have already read it before. So those are all the books I plan on reading, and that's not even mentioning the reading rush, or the 24-hour readathon, which I will be participating in. It's 24 and 48, and it falls on the Create Your Own Readathon weekend that Sarah from Steeped in Tea runs. So I'm gonna just try and like cram out a bunch of books in that 24 hours. that I'll be reading for that 48-hour weekend, basically. And aside from that, I can't think of anything else that I would like to share with you book-wise. I am in the middle of a couple, but I am going to be trying my hardest to finish them before the 1st. So that is all of the books I want to read this month. It's a crazy amount, and I hope that you all enjoyed this. Please wish me luck and that I can finish all these books, because I really do want to. It's just a matter of time. There's never enough time. So I hope to see you all again next time, and hopefully you'll participate in some of these readathons with me. I will see you next time. Bye.